Hey guys, happy holidays. This is Eric at SideQuest Comics, and as you can tell by around me, it's festive time. So I redecorated the studio a little bit, added some Christmas themed comics in the background that I've been actually diving into this time of the year. I find Christmas comics and I throw them in my green tote here. This is all Christmas comics that I dive into, and I wait for this time of the year to show them off. Some of them are back here. Some of them I've been featuring on Instagram for the last couple weeks. But like even today, I found some new ones that there's no way I'm going to be able to show them. We only have a couple more days left before Christmas. And yeah, so I dove into this and I dug out some comics to show you guys. Usually we do a theme of my favorite Christmas covers, but Santa Claus is coming to town, guys. It's just a couple days away. So I got a stack together of my favorite 12, see what I did there, 12 Santa comics that I want to share with you guys. Basically comics featuring the big man in red on the cover. So what I want to do is dive into these 12 comics. They're not really in any particular order. I do eventually go to my favorite ones towards the end and show you some of my favorite comics featuring Santa Claus. So let's go ahead and start showing off what I dug out of my big bin. So yeah, guys, as I mentioned, I dug out 12 Christmas books to share with you guys this year. Kind of go along with the 12 days of Christmas. That's kind of my whole thought process behind that. And I'm going to start right off the bat here with one from Marvel. And it's this one right here. This is Sensational She-Hulk from 1989. This is number 8. This was a John Byrne series. And if you can see it, he's right there. The man is Nick St. Christopher. And he's here to help She-Hulk TM, I like how they added that, convict the most maniacal serial killer in New York City. Boy, I got tongue-tied there a little bit. See, he's the world's greatest detective. And in good fashion, John Byrne, with She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall, doing it before Deadpool. And yeah, I mean, there he is. This is one of those early, it's not really a Christmas book, but the fact that Santa Claus is on the cover, I think it takes place during December, but it's not, it's loosely Christmas book. That's why this was my first one, I figure, guys. But it is classic John Byrne art. So that's my first one in my 12 Christmas comic covers. Now, my number 11 pick, guys, is a fairly new one from this year, and it's actually an homage to an old Witching Hour issue, number 28 from 73. And this is actually Mark Spear's Monsters number 4. This is a second print of the comic. Of course, I got it because it is an homage to the Witching Hour. Number 28 it's one that's on my list that I'm trying to find, and it can be a pricey book. So this is actually a good alternative where we have the Santa Claus skeleton here. He's hiding behind a curtain, a little kid unsuspecting. And yeah, never fear a Santa Claus, even though he looks like a skeleton. Little Mark there is excited to meet him. I don't know if he's going to want to meet him. So that is my number 11 pick. Eventually, I will get the original Witching Hour one, but very cool cover. I like Mark Spear's take on it, and it's a pretty cool one to have in the collection. Number 10 is a Marvel comic. Why can't we have Man-Thing dressed as Santa? Why not? So this is Man-Thing Volume 3, number 3 from, this is in 98. So this is a 98 comic. And it's kind of loosely tied into Strange Tales there, as you see. As a limited series, Volume 3. It wasn't a very long series. But very cool cover by Liam Sharp. And it's titled Christmas in Bedlam, which is interesting. Yeah, excuse me while I whip out my Man-Thing there for Christmas. But yeah, he's a jolly green giant. Something like that. Number 9 is an X book. I can't not have an X book here. And this is actually another 90s book. This is Generation X Holiday Special, number 1 from 98. And this one, it's interesting because here it says he knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you're a mutant. Well, you know what? Technically, he should, because what was it? It was a Marvel Holiday Special from 1991 that they established in the Marvel Universe that Santa is an Omega level mutant. So I'm going to put up I'll put it up over here, the little pop-up of the cover so you guys can find it. It was the first Marvel Holiday Special they did in 91. And it's a fun story. I read it not last Christmas, the Christmas before. I did like a live read-through with my wife just to get kind of her reaction on it. I read it. She never read it, so I was kind of summarizing it for her. And it was a fun read, but yeah, that's kind of interesting point there with Santa Claus is technically a mutant in the Marvel Universe. And in this story, what I find interesting, it's so Generation X, they get kidnapped by Nanny and Orphan Maker, and Jubilee teams up with Santa Claus to basically free her teammates. So that's the whole premise of this, and it is fun. I mean, Generation X was kind of a tongue-in-cheek comic. It never really took itself too seriously, so it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's this pick for holiday special. Number 8, guys, is an independent. It's an old Image comic. This one was when Image was fairly new, and this is a Spawn issue, number 39 from 1995. So good old Todd McFarlane. I like this cover because it's a character that we know well, but he's dressed up as Santa Claus. Now, what is he reaching in that bag for? I don't know, but there's a lot of blood right there. I'm a little afraid of what could be in the bag. But yeah, this is a pretty cool cover. And I like that this issue that just came out this year, I Saw Santa, which is in the Spawn universe, actually kind of ties into this one a little bit. So good pairing if you don't have them to match these ones up and have a fun Christmas story with Spawn. Now, my number 7 pick, guys, going back to Marvel, is an Incredible Hulk cover where Grey Hulk, is fighting what looks to be Santa Claus because we demanded it, as they said on the cover there, the most requested villain of all. It's not Santa. Technically, this is actually Rhino dressed as Santa. So this is a book by Peter David and Bill Jaska did the cover, but it's Incredible Hulk 378, came out in 1990. This one took me a little while to track down. When I first started collecting Christmas covers and I did a search, this was one of the ones that was top of my list and it took me a while to find. I don't know why. It's kind of a cool cover. I mean, all these picks are, I picked them because they were featuring Santa Claus predominantly on the cover. He was a main feature of the cover. So yeah, this one was cool, and it turns out it's not actually Santa Claus. It's Rhino disguised as Santa, and the Hulk and him just tearing it up. Number 6, I think, is a pretty cool cover. I would love to have this as, without the trade on there, just a full virgin cover of it. But it's Ultimate Spider-Man, the newest Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 2, number 12. This came out in 2024, so it came out last year, and this came out in December. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man, number 12, 2024, written by Jonathan Hickman. Very cool cover of Spidey dressed as Santa. So technically another character dressed as the big man in red. Swinging through, and he's delivering toys. What looks like to be a stuffed doll of Kingpin there. I don't know if I want that. I think that's Kraven right there. A little stuffed doll of Kraven the Hunter. But very cool cover. Like I said, I would love to find this one in a virgin variant. My 5th pick, guys, is a fairly modern comic. This just came out like a week or 2 ago. This is Terminator Santa Claus is Coming to Town, number 1. Came out, like I said, just this year by Dynamite. And yeah, this has Terminator dressed as Santa Claus. Now, this one I wasn't going to get. Now, I'll admit, I flipped through this real quick at the store to see, is it action? Is it kind of slow paced? Is there a lot of dialogue? That kind of thing, and see what the art was. And just a little bit that I got, Spoilers here, guys. A Terminator, what were they? T-800, teleports, time travels into a shopping mall. This is after Judgment Day, so the apocalypse happened, and it opens with your ragtag soldiers, human soldiers, and he time jumps into the mall, and he needs to disguise himself like they always do. And what does he find in the mall? A Santa Claus statue. So he basically takes the clothes off the mannequin and dresses as Santa and terrorizes the soldiers. So it was fun. It was a good, fun story. In the end, I mean, it has the leader of the soldiers, the platoon. She's telling a younger one about what Christmas was and stuff like that. And in the end, it's like he gives her a present, and it's like the meaning of Christmas type of story. So it was a good, fun story. Like I said, I wasn't going to get it, but when I kind of flipped through it a little bit, I was like, you know what? I want to read this story and see what it's about. And I had a lot of fun reading it. So if you guys haven't checked this one out, check it out. Maybe find it in the back issue bins type of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of covers for it too. If you want to check out all the cool covers they had of a Terminator as Santa. My fourth pick, guys, is an oldie. It's a big treasury one, so I gotta hold it back here so you guys can see this sucker. This is a limited collector's edition, presents Christmas with the Superheroes. Now, they did do Christmas with the Superheroes a couple times, and this one is the number 34, came out in 1975, and what's cool about this is it actually collected older stories, older Christmas themed stories from DC runs, whether it's Superman, Batman. In this one particularly, those two, Shazam, the Teen Titans. So it collects a couple different stories, reprints, and this cover, what's cool about it, and he was a very big artist at that time, doing a lot of the DC Comics art. And his cover is Nick Cardy, and usually he does art. There's art on the back. I'm going to take it out real quick and show you guys. So like I was saying, you can actually see it better because it's not shining. But yeah, Nick Cardy did the cover here, and a lot of times these big treasury ones, they had a wraparound cover. So here's a big wraparound of all the featured characters and the featured stories in here that are reprints. And I also like that it's just, the treasuries are fun because they're these big old books. You can sit on the ground, kick your feet up in the air if you're laying on your belly type of thing, and read this like a little kid on the carpet. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, these are all Christmas themed stories. There's an end of a Shazam story there, an Angel and the Ape starting. So very cool. And I like too, they had stuff like this in the treasury. A superhero calendar for 1975. What other fun stuff? They have little Christmas quizzes in here. So yeah, this was a pretty fun book. I think I paid like maybe $10 for this at Comic Buying Center, which is a pretty good deal, I think. And I know they're starting to reprint some of these. Like this one over here was a reprint. I've seen the original here and there, and sometimes they can be a little beat up, but this one was pretty good shape. So this was my fourth pick for my 12 Christmas covers. Okay, we're getting down to it, guys. Now, these ones I actually did put in order of like my top picks for Santa covers. Now, number 3 here is another one that I kind of hunted for a while. It took a while to find the right copy, but it's this one here. A little kind of a creepy cover, but this is Bizarre Adventures number 34 from 1982. Now, yeah, creepy skeleton Santa climbing out of a chimney. It just says it right on there. Not for kiddies, and we mean it, but it's it's a special Hate the Holidays issue. So I guess it's a lot of, it's a typical horror, spoofy holiday stories here. But a cool cover by Joe Jusko. And yeah, I love this cover. This was, I think, too, when Bizarre Adventures switched their format. They were in the larger magazine format before this. And I think somewhere in there, they switched to the basic comic book format size. So very cool cover, creepy. I like how realistic the skeleton is too. It's not cartoony, comic-y. It's kind of creepy. Number 2 for my Santa Christmas covers is this one right here. This is the all new, all daring Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man. This is number 112 from 1986, written by Peter David, and the art on the cover is Kyle Baker. Very cool, kind of Terminator-esque 80s Santa Claus here. I mean, he's wearing cut off leather gloves. He's got his big old gun with a sight on it, it looks like. I like that it says, "Have a nice day," and you see the bullet holes in there. And yeah, he's got his shades and he's smoking a cig. And it says, "You better watch out." And boy, if you saw Santa like this, you better watch out. You know what it also kind of reminds me of is Roddy Piper from They Live a little bit. He's here for Christmas and he's all out of candy canes or something, I don't know. But yeah, this one I know is a big favorite for people that collect Christmas covers. I like it because it features Santa on it. So that was my number 2 pick. So let's go to my last one, which probably is the top pick. My last one here, guys, for Santa covers is this one. It's a fairly modern comic. This is Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night miniseries that came out in 2023. And this is 1D. This is actually one of the variant covers. It's a Ben Oliver variant cover. And what makes this kind of a special variant is they call this a rub and smell comic. So you guys remember Scratch and Sniff, right? If you're my age, you do. It's something they did in the 80s where there was a sticker. You scratched it. If you sniffed it, it smelled like whatever the sticker was. Bananas, grapes. I think they had chocolate. Kind of basic scents and stuff. This was before we got into the Harry Potter jelly beans that taste like barf and booger and stuff like that. But yeah, Scratch and Sniff, I think, is a trademark. So they call this the rub and smell. So what it is right here, if you rub his nose and then smell it, it actually smells like peppermint, which I thought was pretty cool, actually. I never saw a comic book do that. Of all the gimmicks we got in the 90s, I'm surprised they didn't do that in the 90s. But took a modern comic to give me a Santa Claus that looks like, man, he's been in a tussle. He's got, a busted lip. It looks like a tooth's missing. All these cuts, like he was getting into a fight with, him and Batman teaming up, beating up Krampus or something. And it was a mini series that came out during the month of December in 2023. I got a bunch of them. I featured a bunch of them on Instagram. And they did do a sequel the following year. I don't think the story was as good. I got like number 1 and it just didn't, grab me type of thing. But I may go back and, try to find the cool covers. I know they put them in trades, but I want to see if I can find some of those variant covers. But yeah, this by far is probably my number 1 Santa Claus Christmas cover. The fact that it smells like peppermint too probably adds to it. 12 Santa Christmas covers for 2025. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of me kind of getting a little more specific on my Christmas comic covers and choosing a Santa Claus as the main theme of it. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you guys thought of these Santa covers. Do you have these Santa covers? Do you need them? Better yet, tell me of ones that I miss. I am a big collector of Christmas comics. As you saw in the beginning, I showed you some of my tote. They're all spread over the house because I've been using them for different posts and stuff. But yeah, throughout the year, I find them, I stick them in there so I can feature them on videos like this. But let me know, guys, what you thought, what you think I should be looking for. Like today, I did find a bunch of Archies that I didn't know I needed. They were in a discount bin. What can I say? But that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. And if you could, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And like I said, mention down below in the comments what you thought of my picks and if there's some that I should be hunting for. Also, guys, if you haven't done so yet, check me out over on Instagram. I got an account over there where I'm featuring theme posts almost every day. I try to post every day, but I have a lot of fun just posting, stuff that I find when I'm out and about questing. And I'd like to share it with you guys, or maybe it's something that I'm looking for. And, maybe I'm looking for information out there. But yeah, check me out on Instagram. But that's all I got for you guys today for this holiday Christmas comic video. And until next time, guys, when you're out there digging for your Christmas comics, happy holidays, happy questing, and we'll talk to you next time.